Hey everyone, welcome back to Nerd Doctors. Across the Spiderverse was finally released, and this is my most anticipated movie of this year. It's something I've been looking forward to for the past 5 years, and I gotta say, it met my expectations and then exceeded them. This movie was very good. I definitely think this one outstanding thing about this movie was the animators. The first movie was gorgeous. This one was even better. I like how each new Earth had a different art style, and it God, every frame was just gorgeous.
Oh man, I had a great time at the movies yesterday. It's visually stunning. I'm just so happy that I'm here on the ride this time instead of, being blimped like 5 years ago and missing Into the Spider-Verse. I didn't
Yeah,
see that movie until like 5 years after it had already released. Why? I was Thanos snapped his finger. I wasn't here. I guess. I don't know. So this one I was, I Griffin and I had conversations where like, fuck this, I'm gonna be there. And so I was, and I was happy. I saw it with my kid. She hadn't seen it, so she couldn't spoil anything like last time. And we had a great time. It's a comic book brought to life, literally. The cast is phenomenal. Funny enough, when I'm watching it, I'm not even thinking of these names. I'm just immersed in this
yeah.
universe. Like I am there on the ride with Miles Morales. There's a lot more Gwen, which my daughter loves, and I thought was awesome. Visually, the movie's just it's stunning. There's moments there where I'm like, whoa, 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 it's too much going on. But that's just part of the ride. I felt at moments like I'm like, this is a trip. I'm in an immersed trip because everything changes with each scene and the art styles as Griff said, but 10 out of 10, man. Seriously,
Yeah.
what a great damn movie. My only complaint, I just told Griff a minute ago, I would probably shave off about 25 minutes, but other than that,
Yeah.
take my money, Sony.
This is the longest animated movie made by Hollywood. It did feel a little bit long, I'll even admit that. But this movie was intense. It was emotional, it was
Oh
funny.
yeah.
It was very intense, and frankly, you're gonna walk out of the theater still processing what the fuck just
High.
happened.
Yeah, I felt high. It feels like you're on a damn roller coaster.
It's crazy. I've already set a date for when I'm going back to go see this movie again because I do think watching it again you'll get just so much more information from it because it's hard to process it all at once. But this movie's so good. And one of the things that was especially great about this movie, and I have no clue if Sony planned this, I think I'm gonna give them credit saying they did, but this movie fixed the plot holes for all of the other Spider-Man movies. It fixed the plot holes in Morbius, fixed the plot holes in Venom 2, fixed the plot holes in No Way Home. With just one simple scene, they fixed it all, and it's crazy that they planned that. Everything going back to Into the Spider-Verse and everything planned forward with the multiverse was all planned, and that's just kind of crazy to think about how far like Sony actually put in work, which is not something we're necessarily used to. We're not used to seeing these high quality films from Sony, especially with Spider-Man. But they really did a great job. The cast was fantastic. The music in this film was a better than the first. The first one had great songs for the soundtrack. This one had a great soundtrack, but also just the music in each scene helped build up the drama, the intensity, and it was just really well done. Everything was well put together and everything fit. And the villain Spot had a great character progression. I'm really excited to see where they continue to take him in the sequel. And he was terrifying. He is probably one of the more terrifying comic book villains we've seen in a long time.
I know I keep saying this, but I had a great time and I just thought of something. I've had dreams like this. So it's like I'm watching this movie, I'm like, fuck, I've literally had dreams like where all of this kind of shit is going on. Which I know is trippy and crazy as hell, but I'm sitting there watching a comic book literally brought to life. And it's so intense. There's so much shit being thrown at you, so many vivid colors that it was a dream. I was like,
Yeah.
I've woken up to shit like that. I loved it, man. I can't wait for the next one. The only thing that kind of saddens me, and Griff and I talked about it yesterday, is that they're making a live action movie. And all I can think to myself is, please don't fuck this up.
I think this movie could. easily be better than Into the Spider-Verse. Like I think right now it probably is, but if they don't stick the landing, it's gonna make this movie so much worse for the third one. One issue I did have with this movie is at the end of Gwen's character arc in this movie, it felt a bit disingenuous. I'm not really gonna go into more deeper than that because it's gonna be cause for spoilers. So if you're curious what I'm talking about, check out our spoiler review that is out. It's just it was a bit weird. It didn't really feel like it fits. It's just more something they had to do. But other than that, and that's just even just a minor nitpick. It could just been a detail I missed because there's so much going on. This movie's great.
My final thoughts on this is I'm having a really hard time with my five top best movies of the year now. Because last week I said Little Mermaid for sure, but now I'm almost certain that this is going to be on my top five.
This is better than Mario.
And so, I'm having a really, really hard time. It's a really, really good movie. Didn't miss a beat. Like I said, my only complaint is shave off 25 minutes, perfect. But yeah, no, take my money, Sony. I can't wait for the next one. Those are my thoughts on it. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Join us in our spoiler review and join us next week for Transformers Rise of the Beast. Please, God, don't fuck that up.
The sequel to Across the Spider-Verse comes out March 29th, and Christ, I cannot wait.